Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton and joining me today is Branson Quirke. How are you, Branson?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. You actually work on the podcast with us.
I do. I'm the associate producer, so I'm kind of like the sidekick in this whole thing. You know, I just do all the stuff that my other producer does not want to do.
Wild? Wild's here. Wild forces you to do all the bad tasks no one else wants to do.
No, I love it here. I love it. I love it.
That's fantastic. And you wrote these notes we're about to read out.
I did. It took me a while. You know, I got to cover a whole year of a person here, but I tried my best.
Yeah, we're doing these 5-to-1 countdowns of various things. And this actually is our last countdown. We're going to count down the celebrities who had the biggest year, good and bad, the celebrities who had the biggest 2023. Do you want to kick us off with number 5?
Sure. Yeah. I know this is kind of a controversial take, but Elon Musk is probably my favorite celebrity.
Oh.
And I know you don't like Elon Musk, but no, Elon Musk had an amazing year, in my opinion, this year. You know, he bought Twitter last year for $44 billion, which concluded in last October. But this year, you know, there were several different articles that we put out about this whole thing. You know, in the beginning of the year, he came out with this new Twitter verification thing. He was stripping verification badges from different celebrities, LeBron James, Kim Kardashian, and some other ones. He also, later this year, you know, had the whole Mark Zuckerberg thing and the fight and everything. And then, I think that's the main points in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk is always in the news because he was always like one of the biggest tweeters, and now he owns the platform. And he even actually, there was a story that he actually changed the algorithm or wanted to change the algorithm a bit so his tweets would be seen on more people's home pages. But yet, he's a very controversial figure because, yeah, as you say, he's your favorite celebrity. He's one of my least favorite celebrities. I just think I'm just not a fan of Elon Musk. Like, obviously, he's a genius, might get us to Mars. I just think he's got a big ego, and he also does like just crazy stuff like reinstate Alex Jones to Twitter and just like give Tucker Carlson his own show. He's very like right-leaning and likes to be divisive.
No, absolutely. The biggest thing about Elon for me is that a lot of people say this, that he's the ultimate troll. Like, imagine having all of that money. You know, there's trolls all over the internet. And like Elon is like the ultimate to me.
Yes.
Like, he went out and bought the company that did all these things, you know, so that he can't say this, said he can't say that. We're going against him. He said, oh, I'm going to go buy it. And he did it. And I think that's amazing. I would do the same thing.
I don't think that the experiment's working out for him, though. Like, he massively, massively overpaid. And even since he overpaid, advertisers have been fleeing the platform. So he paid $44 billion. It's probably worth, 10 or so. Like,
yeah,
it's not, but he has this big plan that now that it's X, he wants to build this everything app, whatever that means. Like, where people go to this one app for communication as well as ordering things. And like, I mean, good luck with that. He's got grand plans, but he spends too much of his time doing these petty trolls rather than sort of using his time more wisely. If you're the smartest guy in the world, get to work. Stop replying to people's tweets like with nonsense.
Well, he's on Twitter all the time. I don't know if you've seen this, but he is on all day long. I don't know how this guy has so much time to respond to people. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, he'll post a tweet, and then in the thread, you'll see him responding to people like every hour of the day.
I know.
Like, how does he have time to do all of that?
Just focus on SpaceX. Like, this SpaceX is objectively amazing. He's getting these self-launching rockets that don't destroy. Like, you can reuse them. And I don't know why he just doesn't focus on what he's good at rather than buying a social media platform. And he could almost be number one, and he'll probably be number one next year. And he'll probably be number one. He just courts controversy. He loves being controversial. And he's the richest guy in the world.
Well, how do you feel about the whole Mark and versus Elon thing? How do you feel about that?
I never thought that was ever going to happen. I always that they've got too much to lose. Elon has too much to lose because Mark Zuckerberg was going to beat him. Mark Zuckerberg does martial arts all the time. That's his passion. And Elon doesn't like really work out. And so like
I don't know. I think Elon has dad bod strength. Like
dad bod
for
strength?
real. No, like I think in the octagon, I think he might surprise you.
I would have loved to see that
Yeah.
fight, but I just never really believed that it was ever going to happen. Too much on the line. Like, why would you want to? The stock price of whoever lost would just plummet. It's just not worth it. Okay, on to our number 4 biggest celebrity of 2023, Drake. Drake seems to always have a big year, but this year he put out 2 albums, as well as a bunch of other songs that are not even on either album. He had a bit of controversy with Bobby Altoff, that famous podcaster.
Yeah.
They had a bit of back and forth about do they have a thing or don't they have a thing. He also, on tour, it became famous for women to throw their bras at him. Like, it's kind of always been a thing with rock stars, but this year with Drake, it seemed even bigger. He even, like, showed bras off, and they were, like, triple, quadruple D. Like, I don't even know how they make boobs that big.
Well, one of the fans that threw a bra at him, she got like a Victoria's Secret like offer or something like that because of that.
Yes. A Playboy
I'm
offer.
sorry, Playboy.
Not
Yeah,
quite
my
Victoria's
bad.
Secret.
Same thing.
So yeah, she did. So you could even become famous just going to a Drake show. He had a bit of controversy as well, though, because he used an image of Halle Berry on his latest album, on the single for Slime.
Right.
And slime is, a metaphor for, I don't know, something a guy disrespects a lady. And he used Halle Berry's image on the cover with her at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards with the green slime all over her face.
Yeah.
That was a big story. And to come at Halle Berry, one of like the biggest celebrities, that was a big story.
Well, in October, he released For All the Dogs, and that debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. I feel like anything Drake releases just always does well. My buddies, they're big Drake fans. I can't say I know too much about Drake. I don't really listen to him, but no, I think anything he puts out is always just going to be on the Billboard charts,
Right.
I think he is always going to be a showstopper. But another thing that came out was he said that he was going to quit music for a year or more because of stomach issues that he was dealing with on tour.
Yeah.
But then literally not even a month later, he released 6 more songs adding to that album. And then as of right now, his 2024 tour is still a go and a green light with like 22 show dates planned. So maybe he's doing better. I don't know.
Pop quiz. What sort of animal is a drake?
A drake?
Yeah, a drake is a type of animal. Do you
Is
know?
it really?
Yep.
A drake?
Any guesses?
Maybe like a Tasmanian devil or something.
Oh, thank you for
I don't know.
shout out to
Is
Australia.
that a real animal or not?
Male duck
A male duck.
is a drake.
Oh, my nickname is actually Ducky with my buddies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You and
yeah,
Drake.
yeah.
Two things in common.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
one thing in common.
Lots in common.
Lots in common. Okay, number 3. How about you read it out? You wrote these notes, Branson. You
Sure,
read them out.
I did write these. Diddy, we said we were going to do the biggest people of the year. We didn't say that they were all going to be good people, right? Well, Diddy had, a pretty quiet year up until November. We put out so many stories here at TMZ. The first being his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. She accused him of rape and several other crimes in a new lawsuit. And not just rape, she accused him of human trafficking and abuse. And if you look at some of the details that she put in this lawsuit, like it's really horrific stuff. One of the things she put in there was that, he was like stomping her. And this happened several times when they were dating for over a decade between, 2008 and 2018.
And it's weird, like the very next day, they reach a settlement, Diddy and Cassie.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird, like Diddy has lost so much because of these allegations. Because once Cassie came out, a lot of other alleged victims came out too, and they keep coming out to this day. And he hasn't settled with the other alleged victims.
No.
So it's just, if he had settled with Cassie, 2 days before he did, potentially, well, he wouldn't be on this list, and potentially he'd still be like one of the most beloved American celebrities.
Yeah, and I mean, his former head of security also spoke out and basically backed all of Cassie's claims, which is really, in my opinion, that's kind of like the pinpoint right there. I mean, I think his career is absolutely over at this point. There's no way he's going to get over these allegations. There's no way.
Yeah,
And
I
there's
don't-
2 outstanding still.
I don't think so. Yeah, when more women are coming out painting a similar picture, he used to just like do cameos in movies and show up at parties and do. I think like the good times are grinding to a halt.
Have you interviewed him ever?
I haven't, but my colleague who's since been let go, he actually gave Diddy a lift in his car one day.
Really?
Diddy was at I think it was Runyon Canyon, and Dante, an old camera guy of of ours. He gave him a lift to his next destination, and they were singing and that sort of stuff in the
Oh.
car. So, I mean...
It's always Runyon Canyon.
It's always Runyon Canyon, isn't it? Okay. Number 2. Beyonce. Beyonce gets to the number 2 spot. I don't think she'll be happy with being number 2. I think she thinks of herself as number 1. But she did her Renaissance tour this year. It started in Sweden. She hadn't been touring for nearly 5 years, actually. And the tour, like, it was a hit. It went off without a hitch. People didn't love particularly some of the songs on the album.
Yeah.
But her live show is something else.
It's incredible. No, I mean, I just started listening to Beyonce last week, actually.
What?
Like, people, I have to say this. When I first started working here, I was sitting over in the PA area, and we were all talking about, because we actually get this celebrity test when we first get a job here. There's a celebrity test. And we were all talking, and I didn't know that Jay-Z and Beyonce were married.
How did you get the job, Branson?
Well, I pretty much got most of them wrong, but they still gave me the job. Maybe it was my smile or something. I don't know.
You were just that good.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I got all the Kardashians wrong except Kim. Yeah. And but yeah, sorry to go off the subject there, but
no, it's just interesting.
I didn't know that they were married, but yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Wow, yeah. News flash. So her Renaissance tour was huge, and then she went out and released it as a movie.
Right.
All the behind-the-scenes stuff. That movie did pretty well.
Well, not as well as another movie, you know.
Yeah.
It opened to $21.8 million at the box office, which is a good opening weekend, but I mean, we'll get to this person in a minute, but yeah.
The number 1 celebrity couldn't be more obvious, but we're on the number 2. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle went to their show, her show. Tom Holland and Zendaya. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet went public with their romance at a Beyonce concert.
They did. Weren't they? Was it that one they were making out with, or that was like the game that they were at a few days later?
No, they made out at it was Beyonce's like birthday concert.
Right. I love Timothée Chalamet, so that was a big story for me. I'm a big fan of him.
It really was.
Movies, so, yeah.
But to number 1, could it be any more obvious? If she was Time's Person of the Year, far be it from us to deny her from being TMZ's Person of the Year. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, she had a massive year, the biggest year of any celebrity in my living memory. I have not seen a year like this from anyone ever. Like, maybe it happened back in the day, but it is just crazy with her concert, with her movie, with her love life. It's just...
No, honestly, I couldn't even write all of this on this paper because there was so much. I had to just put the bare minimum on her. I mean, to start out the year, she had that Ticketmaster fiasco.
She broke Ticketmaster.
Really, she broke Ticketmaster, and they had a U.S. Senate hearing for it, which was insane.
So she had 7 of her albums in the top 40 albums on the Billboard charts. Like, what?
I know.
Like, what? So she broke up with Joe Alwyn. She got together with Maddie Healy for a while. And now, of course, she's with Travis Kelce.
Yep.
What of her accomplishments this year do you find the biggest?
The biggest accomplishment has to be the Eras Tour.
Yeah.
Or Eras Tour or whatever. I mean, it grossed, what, over $1 billion? And it's not even done yet. It's still going next year. And it's international next year. She completed her U.S. tour dates as of, the end of this year. But I don't understand... Like, what did she do to become so big all of a sudden again? Like, I always knew her, but
she strikes a chord with so many women, mostly women. Like, and like, I'm into some of her songs. Like, some of them are quite catchy, but a lot of, ladies, she talks about how growing up, turning from a girl into a woman and all of the issues that come with that. She writes love songs and breakup songs. And I don't know, to listen to a lot of her Swiftie fans, they adore her and, base their identity on her more than any other person.
I just don't think that she, what about her? I don't know. I mean, as a person, I still haven't found, the reason that Taylor Swift is such an amazing person. Everyone's like, she's so amazing. She does all these things. But I just feel like she's just a regular person.
Should we swap her out from number 1 then?
I think we're gonna have to.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Based on a person,
not good enough for Branson.
Well, Beyonce, she actively, she does a lot of different things, as a humanitarian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Taylor Swift, she does a lot of good. She does a lot of good too.
She does.
This has come from someone who doesn't know much about celebrities. So,
I don't. I mean, I failed the celebrity test day 1
at TMZ. Right.
Yeah.
But my God, she's gonna, have a big next year. What does the future hold for her and Travis?
What if she doesn't have a big next year?
I can't see it not being another huge year.
I think she peaked.
You think she's peaked?
I think she peaked.
It's all downhill from here?
It's all downhill from here. Yes.
Once you get to number one in the TMZ biggest celebrities, where else is there to go?
No, right. I mean, you have to peak at some point. Unless
Right.
what is she going to do next to make next year better?
Have a baby with Travis Kelce?
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
I could see that.
got you
That
back.
would be pretty big.
And as you said, the Eras tour isn't over yet.
Are you going to go?
I haven't
go?
been yet. I haven't been, no. I would go just as a sort of like anthropological type, just observing society type.
Right.
I like a few of her songs.
Me too.
But I'd go just because this Taylor Swift, Eras concert is like Beatlemania. It's like the biggest thing, music event of our lifetime. And I would
Right.
like to go if I can go. So potentially.
But I will always say, and I tell everybody this, my favorite version of Taylor Swift was when she was doing country music way back when. I think that was, that was the nice Taylor. The songs were better. I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this, but
You're going to have
I don't know.
Swifties coming at you, Branson.
I didn't like when she went to the pop rock stuff. Like, what? I don't know.
Oh, cruel summer. You're going to have Swifties in your DMs blowing you up, Branson.
I already do have Swifties in my DMs.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me, Branson.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And I hope you guys have a good rest of your holidays. Goodbye.